Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Soulful Living with Megs. As always, I'm so happy to have you here spending a few moments of connection with me. Truly, you always make me happy when we get to spend this time together. So, I'm so excited to dive into this topic in greater detail. Based on the title, you know what we're kind of diving into, but this topic I've definitely brought up in, I believe, my first episode with you guys, but my best friend Laura was giving me some ideas on some pod content and she mentioned this one, and I just loved the idea of diving into romanticizing life in greater detail because I think it's a way to improve your day and your life in general. And as you guys know, and as I've mentioned before, I love to romanticize my life. Basically, any and every aspect of my life where I can romanticize, I do, because I believe it makes my days brighter, more colorful, and romanticizing my life allows me to be grateful for the things that I have in my life. And it also allows me to enhance the experience that I am having in that current moment, which ultimately makes everything more fun. And really, what I believe romanticizing life is about taking those small little moments and truly those mundane tasks in life, because it's inevitable that we have to experience those and go through those tasks, but it's about turning them into something so beautiful. And I think how we can go throughout today's episode is I'm going to share some of the things that I do in my personal life to romanticize it, and then we can kind of dive in to yours and we can talk about some ideas and kind of just how we can shift our mindset to reframe those boring tasks and how can we transform that into a romanticized time, because really I do believe it is about a shift in your mind and it's a way of living as a whole. But funny enough, today, as I'm recording this, it's a Sunday, and I had a crazy busy weekend with my amazing family. I went out to North Van to babysit my baby cousins, and this was the first time that I got to go visit their new house. It's a stunning place to live. Truly, it was breathtaking. The views were insane. Just being right on the ocean was, oh my goodness, waterfront, just stunning. Anyways, I had a crazy, crazy busy weekend spending time with them. And then my Sunday consisted of, I was out and about trying to get errands done and meal prep. And so it's been a busy day. But as I was getting ready to record this, I was thinking about my weekend in general and how thankful I am to have spent the time with my family that I did. And even though I saw them on Easter, it's always such a blessing to be able to spend more time with them. But I romanticized so many parts of this weekend when I was at their house. And oh my goodness, it just makes me so grateful for being their family and for having this beautiful weather right now that we're having. It is gorgeous out, and oh my goodness, I woke up this morning probably around 6:15, I want to say. 6 o'clock maybe. And so the sun was rising at such a beautiful time, and I had actually, the guest room that I was staying in, I left the curtains open because it overlooks the water and I wanted to wake up to the natural light. And I woke up and I was so excited to see the sun just shining. And once it got past the mountains ahead of us, just having it peek through, it was beaming into my room. And I took my pillow and I moved it horizontal, and so now I'm laying horizontal on the bed, and I'm just staring out the window, just mesmerized by this view. I'm taking it all in. I'm closing my eyes as I let the sun soak and bake on my face, and it was so pretty. And I was truly taking in that moment, being so thankful for where I was, being so thankful to have the sun, to have this water in front of me, to see the greenery. It was breathtaking, and I laid there for half an hour looking outside the window. I'm not even kidding you. I I've done that a few times where I've stayed at places in which they have a beautiful view, and in the morning I love watching the sunrise. And after that, I ended up going upstairs, and I was sitting on a chair again overlooking this beautiful view, and the kiddos came up to watch their show in the morning, but I was reading on my Kindle, and the dogs were around us, and it was, oh my gosh, so peaceful. I felt so zen. I wasn't thinking about the tasks that I had to do as soon as I got home, but I was truly embracing and taking in that moment and being really, really thankful for it. And I loved it. And then it didn't end there. After that, I ended up using their infrared sauna that they have. And so I sat in there for 25 minutes. I put on a podcast, and oh my gosh, I did a little bit of stretching in there, but I mostly just sat and embraced it and was just relaxed, dripping in sweat. I don't personally normally like to sweat, but when I'm in a sauna, I don't mind it. I know I'm getting the benefits when that happens, but oh my goodness, it was truly beautiful. And then we went out for breakfast after, and then I was romanticizing the fact that I was sipping on this amazing matcha. OEB has a really good matcha if you like it really sweet. I normally only do about half sweet. Sometimes I'll do, a good vanilla shot, but whatever they put in it, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then our breakfast, let alone, was just gorgeous, and just being able to, again, spend more time with my family. But that was such a beautiful morning to romanticize, and it's something that, again, like I've said, I take these moments in my days where I romanticize parts of them, and my Sundays don't look like that every morning, of course. Like I don't have that view every single day, or I don't get to go out to breakfast all the time and have people make my latte, but when I do get to do those things, those are the moments where I feel like I'm enhancing and embracing that romanticized part of my life even more, if that makes sense. And then when I take the smaller tasks that I do throughout my weeks, it's just such a different way to live, I feel, and just, again, brings so much color and joy into my life. But I can't even explain it, you guys. It was truly such a great experience, and it definitely would have been a different experience if it was pouring rain. But again, like, I think with the beautiful view, with being able to spend time with my family, I think there would have been different moments of how I would have romanticized that. But I was taking in that we're in spring, and it's just gorgeous, and oh my goodness, that view, I will never forget it, and I can't wait to go back and live that life again and romanticize it. But it was amazing. But what I want you to do now is to think about your current routine, and whether you jot down a few of the tasks that you do on a regular basis, or just think about them in your head. It's about finding those small ways to enhance the experiences. So if you have to do chores in your house, which of course I had to come home and throw in laundry after this weekend, but while I was doing that, I put on a show, one of my favorite ones, and just like was able to kind of like watch that, listen to it as I'm doing this. And then I was meal prepping, and I was thinking about the fact that I have all these amazing smells in my kitchen, and I'm just so grateful that I can cook this food, that I can get this food and be able to make it and then savor those moments. But anyways, finding like small things like that where you can just shift your mind to be more grateful for those experiences. And even if you're, like I said, doing chores in the house, or you have to meal prep, or you have to fold laundry. I hate folding laundry. I also hate drying dishes. I like to wash dishes. I don't like drying them. I like to do laundry. I don't like folding clothes and putting them away. Not fun. But putting on a podcast or listening to music and dancing around the house as you do that, honestly sounds kind of silly, but like, how fun would that be? Think about the movie Enchanted, if you've ever seen it. I'm thinking about the scene right now where she is, I forget her name, oh my goodness, but she's dancing around in this apartment in New York City, and she's singing, and she's having help from all of the the New York City animals, the big rats they got there and the pigeons and stuff. But she is dancing around, having such a fun time doing such a boring task, to be honest. Like, nobody actually, I don't think, loves to clean. Like, if you had to choose to spend your Saturday outside in the sun with friends or on a patio, I'm sure we'd rather do that than clean our house, but it has to get done sometimes. But she's dancing around, she's singing, she makes her dress out of the the curtains on the window, and it's such a fun time. So, like, why don't we just incorporate stuff like that? Even though it's a movie, why don't we do that? And even that reminded me, as I'm spending this weekend with my family, on Saturday night, the kids and I had a dance party. We literally turned on the tunes and we were dancing around, and it was so much fun. What a silly exercise, but was just able to bring so much joy into all of our experiences of that time together. And I think when I think about romanticizing, I'm thinking about taking each connection and moment that I have throughout my day and appreciating those. So if you're having a good meal with your friends, savor every last bite of that amazing meal. That you're romanticizing by doing that. Or feeling all of the love as this dog comes and greets you on the street because it senses your energy and you get to give it scratches, and they're just so excited. And again, this reminds me of another moment that I got to romanticize today on my way on my way back from getting groceries. There was a cat. There are, I think, 3 cats in one unit on my floor. And I always see this one black one. And he's very, I would say this cat is very shy. And he just sits there and stares at you. And like when I call him over, he doesn't come. And he kind of gets a little bit skittish if you walk close to him. So I usually just leave him be. But there is this other beautiful cat. Oh my goodness. It was white, orange, black, just the spots on this cat. Stunning. Anyways, it was outside of the house because their owners let them sit outside in the hallways, and I love seeing them. But anyways, I'm coming out of the elevator and I see this cat, and so I set my groceries down, and I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more standoffish like the other cat, but I called it over and it ran down the hallway to me, and just, oh my gosh, I got to give this kitty the longest belly pats ever. And she was, I don't know if it's a he or she, but like laying on her back, and I was just giving her all the belly scratches, and so cute, and just like reminded me of how grateful I am for animals and how pure and amazing they are. And then I was, of course, missing my kitties, but such a good like boost of endorphins, and serotonin. It was great. But that's just, again, another example is being able to take in those cute animals that pass you by on your walk. Or as you're on a walk, noticing all of the beautiful faces that you smile at, or that they smile at you when you're passing by each other. I think that's just amazing, and just appreciating like, oh my gosh, I loved this person's outfit, or I love their hair, or their eyes just sparkled with the light when it hit them. Like, what a beautiful way to look at humanity and the world that we're in, and just experience it in a brighter way. And I think another important thing about romanticizing is just being very present with every experience you're in. So if you're with friends, being present with them as you're having this amazing, heartwarming conversation, or just truly embracing and feeling all of those good feelings that you feel when you're laughing so hard with the people around you that light you up. I'm thinking about a time where my good friends Brett, Han, Shay, and I, we have our group chat is called Brats. Oh no, is it called Brats now? Yes, it is. It used to be called Fab Four, and then we changed it to Brats, and they're just amazing. But we go over to Brett and Han's house when we all have time in our schedules, because of course life is so busy. But we always have a little snack. We always have music playing. They have the best like R&B playlist on. And I remember the last time we were all together, truly just giggling. Like, I was laughing so hard that day with them that the next morning my voice was like sore because I was just cackling at the things we were talking about, and just like what a beautiful time to be present with your friends. Oh, anyways, love you guys so much, but I love it. I love romanticizing every aspect of my life. And I'm sure as I'm sharing this with you guys, you probably do romanticize more than you think you do. But I think it's about bringing, like I said, it's the shift in mind, but bringing awareness to what you're grateful for in life. That's really what it's about. And it's like I also said, a way of living and a way of being very present, grounded, and grateful and appreciative for everything around you and the beauty that's around you. Because if you just stop and pay close attention, you will find so many beautiful things in this world. I also think what's really cool about romanticizing is that you don't necessarily have to be buying and spending your money on things to romanticize parts of your life. A lot of what I had just shared with you and the weekend that I had, there were moments where I did spend some money, and then there were moments where I didn't, and I didn't need to have a lot of money to be able to be grateful for the moments that I was romanticizing. And so I have a list of ideas in which we can romanticize our lives. A lot of these things I do, which is why I jotted them down. And some of these things I do spend my money on. Some of these things I don't spend my money on. Like I said, it's not about buying things to romanticize our life. It's a mindset shift in a way of being. So yeah, I'm going to share the list that I have with you of things that I do to romanticize my life. And maybe these will give you a couple good ideas. Some of the things that I like to do are going on rich mom walks. And yeah, you can just call it a walk, but why not call it a rich mom walk and make it even better? And the rich mom phrase is from Tinks, and she always talks about going on rich mom walks. And so I love that idea of when I go on a walk, I think about being a little rich mom, pushing my stroller on the seawall with my latte, with my dog. So cute, so cute. You can also buy yourself flowers, $4 tulips. I know I've mentioned that before, but what a small little gesture to show yourself that you are deserving of beautiful things in life like flowers. And I love gardens. I love the colors that flowers bring. I love pretty much every single type of flower. Why not enhance your living room, your room, with some beautiful flowers? You can get a latte. You can make a latte. Oh, I love my lattes. Love a good matcha latte. And what a cute way to hold, in your favorite mug, make yourself a latte or a tea or a coffee and go outside and just soak up the beautiful air and sun that we have. Amazing. Kind of to tie into that, having an early morning where you're sitting in the sun on a comfy chair, looking out the window, listening to the birds chirp. I did that on this morning. But even if you have a reading nook in your house, how cute would that be to just read while you're sitting? And amazing. I love it. You can go on cafe dates with your friends and put on a cute little outfit. I personally pretty much only live in sweatpants, but sometimes I love dressing up, and like, how cute is it just to have coffee with your friends while you're all dressed up? So cute. Love it. You can also cook dinner with amazing food and then throw on a movie after that and just enjoy the fact that you were able to cook yourself an amazing meal, and then you get to watch your favorite movie. How spectacular does that sound? You can take yourself on a shopping date if you have some money to spend, but you can also go window shopping. I love going window shopping on walks and just looking at all of the cute things that I want to buy and add to my wish lists and Christmas lists. Kind of a good idea. I started my Christmas list really early in the year last year, and I remember it just came in handy near the end because I always feel like I'm giving my family and my friends last minute ideas, but I started this list really early. Just anything that I wanted, I put down. And then before Christmas, before I gave everybody my list, I actually went through it and took note of like, do I need this thing anymore? Do I want this thing anymore? And a lot of it I took off, but that was such a sidebar, but kind of a fire idea to be able to have your list early. But anyways, window shopping. You can also romanticize your life by, I would pull it up if my computer would work properly right now, so hold on. You can go on breakfast dates with your friends in your comfy clothes. You can have a tea break at work if you like to drink tea. Why don't you take 5 minutes, go to the kitchen, make yourself a cute cup of tea, talk to the people that come, visit with the people that come into the kitchen, have a moment of connection with them, just a little break. I think that that's a moment just to be grateful for the present moment. You can have a picnic. I love doing this when the weather is nicer. I'll walk down to the park near my house. I have my cute little blue and white blanket that I use for picnics that has tassels on the ends. So cute. And then sometimes if I'm feeling really up for it, I will go get sushi and then I'll go and sit and just, oh, it's such a fun time. But even taking yourself on a solo date, to the movies, out to dinner, I think that's so fun. Just a good way to romanticize parts of your life like that, and just give yourself what you want. I love that. Laying in the sun, reading your favorite book, such a good way to romanticize. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but spending time with people who light you up, having a good yap sesh with your best friends, it's amazing. Or even like cooking with your friends, baking with your friends, having one of those cocktail themed nights with your friends where you make different themed drinks. So fun. I did that with my friends a couple years ago, and I just remember it being such a fun time. And I'm not really a drinker anymore, but I love the idea of making a cute mocktail in that way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so fun. Or this, oh, love doing this. This one I love. Or doing your makeup with your best friends and getting ready before you go out to dinner, before you go out to dance. Like, how fun. The getting ready part with your girls is truly the best part of the night, I believe, or any time of day in which you go out with your friends. But that is the best time. You have music, the vibes are so positive and warm, and you're in your cute clothes and you're just chit-chatting away, having a girly talk, and oh my gosh, something about that. Ugh, love girlhood. But getting ready with your friends like that, or doing a face mask once a week if you want to do that. Or I love to do this every 3 months. I usually get a new one, but I'll go get some eucalyptus at Farm to Table. They have fresh eucalyptus, but any like market should have them. But I'll put that in my shower, so when I'm having a shower, I can just smell all of that beautiful natural aroma. And another way to romanticize such a small task of showering, like you have to do that every day, but how fun is it that you can place that in your shower and just it's an enhanced experience, you know? Or you can light candles in your room, you can light incense of your favorite scents. Like, I love it. You can also get massages to romanticize your life. I mean, we all need massages, let's be real, but again, just such an idea of like something, a treat we get to do to our we get to treat ourselves to, and that's great. But or even like trying, this goes similar to like savoring every last bite of your meal. But I tried this new oat milk, even though I'm stepping away from oat milk for a bit because it's really high in sugar. But I tried this new oat milk to go in my matcha in the mornings, and oh my gosh, you guys, it was so good. It was like a little French vanilla one. It was definitely coffee creamer for sure, but I put it with my matcha, and oh my gosh, it was just stunning. It was so good. Ultimately, I think it's important to play as the main character in your life, because you are the main character of your life. And so why not take all of those moments in your day and genuinely feel those beautiful feelings that you have? It'll just enhance the experience. And who cares if you're looking silly having a dance party in your in your house as you clean. Like, genuinely feeling those good feelings and being grateful is what life is about. And we all have this power within us to make these tiny shifts toward an even better life. And so that's why I love romanticizing, because I just think it makes our lives better. And so I really encourage you to try to romanticize any and every aspect of your life that you can, and just watch how your viewpoint of the world and of your life shifts. I truly believe that it will make your day and your week even better. So I love it. And I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this episode on how we can romanticize our lives a bit more. I appreciate you so much. I hope that your week is filled with endless opportunities of joy and love and success. And I'm sending you all of that light and all of that good energy. And I cannot wait, as always, to connect with you in our very next episode. Okay, bye guys.